Hey everyone, welcome to Channel Couch Co-op. We got Grim, we got Shapes, and we're back. And today we are talking about, yet again, another Marvel entity, which is Spider-Man Nowhere Home, which is the movie that came out around Christmas. What?
Isn't it No Way Home?
Did I say where or way?
Yeah, where.
Edit. No Way Home. And this is the third installment of the Tom Holland Spider-Man. I was very, very particular in trying to avoid spoilers.
You wrote where.
That's probably why. Honestly, I think the numbers, since this is quite some time since the movie came out, the numbers and the sales of from this movie has shown how good this movie is. It is now within the top 10 of grossing movies of all time for movies. Yeah. So basically, the premise of this particular movie is, well, I mean, do we want to go into just our opinions and then go?
Yeah.
Okay, so overall, love this movie. I think this is probably top 2 Spider-Man movie. Well, no, I can't say that. Top 3 Spider-Man movie, for my opinion, personally.
Ooh.
Top 3.
Okay, so I assume number 1 is Spider-Man 2, Raimi. No.
Into the Spider-Verse. Or the first one, the cartoon one with Miles Morales. That's number 1.
Interesting.
Number 2 would be Spider-Man 2, and then it's either No Way or Spider-Man 1, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, because for me, Spider-Man 2 is probably my favorite.
Okay. And I can agree with that.
Into the Spider-Verse, I like it, but I don't know, I just feel like I like the it's super cartoony. Yeah. So for me, it just didn't really. I know it's a kids movie, but it was
not even a kids movie. It's just an animated movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to hit those heavy hitter things like great power and responsibility.
Sure. I just felt it was a little Looney Tunes-y, I guess.
No,
but
you have Spider Pig, so what do you expect?
Yeah.
Right. So or not Spider Pig, it's something else. Spider Pig's in The Simpsons.
No, it is Spider Pig.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or Spider Ham.
No.
Spider Ham, 100%.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, we I don't know, so yeah, it doesn't matter. I like Spider-Man. Every movie's fine except Spider-Man 3.
Even the Amazing Spider-Man?
Yeah, it's not I guess I tried to rewatch it recently, and I told him that's why he brings it up. So, but it just, I hated how mean Andrew Garfield played Peter Parker. Like he insulted the enemies and stuff like that. And I always just kind of was like, when I watched it recently, I literally was like, I couldn't even finish it because I was just kind of like the negativity.
And in an evaluation standpoint, and I know we're sidetracking because neither Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire was in this movie, is that Tom Holland looks and feels, in my opinion, the most like Spider-Man. I think Andrew Garfield portrayed a Spider-Man character, not necessarily the meanness per se, but just the way that he acted, it came through a little bit better.
Sure.
And Tobey Maguire was just so nostalgic. His performance in 1 and 2 made 1 and 2 rank higher than Andrew Garfield.
Well, I mean, in my opinion, Tobey Maguire's character was always just he wasn't really Peter Parker in the form of the comics. He was just the sweet, lovable, nerdy kid that just was, fairly intelligent.
Sure.
He wasn't super intelligent like he is in the comics, and he wasn't quippy like he is in the comics.
Right. Where Tom Holland has a quippiness.
Yes.
In a non-negative fashion. Where Andrew Garfield has attacking quippiness.
Yeah. He was just kind of fiercely mean, kind of insulting, like a
dick.
Oh, is that really your move, or something like that? Really
just spamming the Hadouken button? Is that your move?
Yeah. So I don't know. In my opinion, Garfield was the best physically.
Sure.
I think he has the body shape for it. He's kind of gangly.
Yeah.
Which Spider-Man in the comics is kind of gangly. He's not really muscular, which they really kind of play off with a lot of the current guys, especially what's his face now? Tom Holland in
yeah.
this. Like, there's like a massive shot of him shirtless, and it's just like okay, I see it. It's the Chris Hemsworth moment in Thor.
It's the every Marvel movie now.
Yeah.
The guy is half naked.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, besides, we as you can tell, we both love Spider-Man. In my opinion, of all my superheroes, he's my favorite of all time. For me personally.
I mean, he ranks up there for him. Like for me, Batman always kind of edges him out, just because I think Batman has like a cooler rogues gallery in general.
Sure.
But yeah,
top notches for movies and just the character in general. But back to
Batman's the entree, Spider-Man's the dessert.
I thought Mary Jane was the dessert. No, I'm kidding. Either way, in regards to
is it no?
In regards to this movie, we both agreed it was a good movie. It's getting critical acclaim and getting acclaim for good reasons. It's not like the best movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but it's definitely a good movie and possibly even ranked top 10, if not top 5, depending on your own ranking systems, I think.
I think this was one gigantic fan service to the Spider-Man,
which we'll get into later.
Movie series people. I think that's what it was, because like I got that heavily from this, because it wasn't necessarily referential, but it was just like, if you didn't see the original movies, you would have no real idea who these people are.
Right.
So, they don't really go into their backstories or anything else like that. They just appear.
So, with that said, this is spoilers ahead, even though it's about a month and a half now since the movie's been out. Logistically, spoilers ahead. We like the movie. We think it's a great movie. If you're not seeing the movie and you like comic book movies, Marvel movies, or Spider-Man, go watch the movie. I don't know why you haven't watched it by now. Yeah. Spoilers! Essentially, this movie is a gigantic fan piece and also a gigantic interwoven connectedness of Spider-Man and Spider-Man Cinematic Universe. To most extents, it doesn't do the cartoon or animated Spider-Man. But the premise of this general movie is Tom Holland's identity was released at the end.
Yeah, it basically picks up right from the last film.
Which is Far From Home, where he had a European school trip. Mary Jane finds out that he is Spider-Man. Ned, of course, already knew he was Spider-Man. And Mysterio, Jake Gyllenhaal, or as I call him in my house, Henrik Zetterberg the Clone. If you like hockey, you'll get that. Basically...
Much better looking, though.
Debatable. No, I'm kidding. But the thing is he reveals Peter Parker is Spider-Man. And so the world knows, and it comes out that a drone killed Mysterio, and they're blaming Peter Parker for his death. So you have this huge backlash of, is he a vigilante? Is he a murderer? Is he good? Is he bad? He's just a kid. What is he doing? And it goes through a daily life struggle of what Uncle Ben has been trying to teach you for years, which is with great power comes great responsibility, and trying to battle that responsibility with everyday life. This is the first movie that you see Spider-Man have to deal with that type of conflict, because they didn't give him a true origin story in Homecoming. So
I guess you're right. Yeah. Well, no, I was thinking like in the manner of, they didn't go that route, but I was also thinking in the manner of like they never really gave him a lot of issues juggling stuff. Like everything kind of happened as he was doing normal things.
Yeah, and so with this said, basically. He is not allowed into MIT, which is the university that he was trying to go to, and because of association, Mary Jane and Ned are also not included for MIT.
Sorry, she's making weird noises.
So what Tom Holland does, which is a very high schooler type of thing, is go to someone who could try to fix the problem for him, which he goes to Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange hears about this spell, knows of a spell where you can make people forget something.
Yeah, I mean, it's just cool, like, how they do it. Like, it's very lighthearted, and, like, they walk in and it's literally covered in snow. So they explain that he's no longer Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah, Wong is.
Yeah, because of the blip. And so, it's neat in that manner. it kind of moves along, you know, and Peter basically gets what is it, One More Day or Brand New Day? What was it called again?
One More Day was the arc for the comic books.
Yeah, okay, One More Day.
He tries to keep, I think, Aunt May alive for an extra day because she dies or something because of him or something.
No, he erases everybody's. He sacrifices his marriage to marry Jane, so I think she would live.
Got it. Okay.
I think.
So with that said, while this spell is being cast, Spider-Man keeps trying to add caveats to the spell, and it distracts Doctor Strange, which originally I thought it wasn't Doctor Strange, it was not Black Widow, excuse me, the Scarlet Witch taking over Doctor Strange and causing some mayhem. This is my weird theories, if I ever mentioned them in our videos. But so the spell goes awry, and you find out that Peter never actually contacted the university to try to fight his waitlisted or his denial of going into college. And basically, like, Stephen Strange has the dad moment of, like, you didn't try to do this? What are you doing?
Yeah.
And so he tries to find the MIT, board person to try to fight for his case. And all of a sudden, Alfred Molina, Dr. Octopus, comes out of nowhere. And he calls him Peter. And you're just, like, kind of like... If you watch the trailers, you knew he was in it, so you're just like, okay, so why is he here? And so, in the spell, Peter Parker says, anyone who knew who Spider-Man was still can know who Spider-Man is. And that spell isn't just in their world, it's the multiverse. So they start pulling all these characters who know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. So Alfred Molina's there, they fight, they spar, and then because of the tech that's way more advanced than 2000 Sony Spider-Man Tobey Maguire, you have nanotech and all that stuff, he apprehends Doc Ock, where then you hear from the shadows, you hear the cackle of William Dafoe, so you hear Green Goblin. And before that happens, Doctor Strange zips them away and explains what the hell just happened. Oddly enough, Doctor Strange captures Dr. Kirk Connors, or the Lizard from Amazing Spider-Man #1, and they have two of these hypothetical enemies that are amongst the world. Honestly, when I saw the chambers, I was like, oh my god, they're finally doing a Sinister Six. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
And they came this close to Sinister Six.
I mean, yeah, they basically kind of did it. I mean...
They did it the best that they could, and they did it the best way, because sometimes having too many enemies is just convoluted and it's just rough. Because even in Amazing Spider-Man, Spider-Man 3, you had Venom and Sandman, which just made it horribly difficult to try to keep track of and understand. And then even the same thing in Amazing Spider-Man 2, where you had Harry Osborn and Electro and all that mixing together, and the death of Gwen Stacy. Spoiler alert.
I mean, it was just like, spoiler alert. 5-year-old movie, but
more than that.
Yeah, way more. Yeah, 10 maybe.
Yeah,
probably. Anyway, I don't know. Like I like that the way that it went with all the villains. Like, it focused... I kind of feel a little heavily on the original Spider-Man series, more so than the rest.
You talking about Tobey's?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
And, I don't know, just because it was like... Otherwise, I felt like most of the other characters, because Flint Marko came in and he was basically, like, the wedge that got him into... like, starting to look into these said villains and stuff like that, because he came in and he was like, what's this? And he's like, I'm not bad, I want to help you, whatever. So, it was neat in that regard, like, how it introduced each character, and it kept kind of Green Goblin as a mystery, sort of, at least initially. Yeah. Off screen. Kind of did, I don't know, I would almost say kind of like a Joker thing, because if you think in every Joker movie, you don't see his face right away. And they always kind of delay revealing his face, kind of a deal. Yeah. So anyway.
I mean, from that point in the story that I'm narrating in a quick Cliff Notes version, Doctor Strange gives him this magical power bracelet that allows him to warp people back. He shows him this box that looks like Mr. Meeseeks box, honestly, in my head. It looks like that. Where basically it'll reset the spell and kill the people who've been brought into this world, or at least send them back. Peter finds out that all these people die, technically, though Flint Marko never died, technically. And he goes on his first mission. They create this super team of finding weird, unique people in the world. So Mary Jane and Ned find out that there's this weird surge of electricity in this field. You find Flint Marko, and you find Max Dillon or Jamie Foxx, and they apprehend them. And the last one is the Green Goblin. Mary Jane calls Peter at the homeless shelter that they run, basically saying, "Hey, I found your person." The very unique thing is what William Dafoe is wearing is green and purple, which is iconic of his original costume in Spider-Man. And he comes off like a homeless bum. I thought the funny thing is when he was just trying to hoard the donuts into his pocket. I thought that was hilarious. And then they pull William Dafoe, and people who are dead are like, "Well, how's he here? He's dead." And some people are explaining to them that they all die at the hands of Spider-Man, and cause some relative chaos. Aunt May says, if you can help someone, you need to try to help someone. So, they basically, Doctor Strange is all about fixing what's wrong. Peter's like, "Hey, I want to give him a chance."
Try to fix their ailments, essentially.
And they go into that what's that dimension called?
Oh, the mirror dimension?
Yeah, it goes in the mirror dimension, and then math is used to trap Doctor Strange, and Peter Parker thinks he can cure everyone. Brings him to Happy's apartment, where there's this case that is a fabricator for Tony Stark. And they start trying to fix all these individuals. They fix Doc Ock, they're about to fix Norman Osborn, and then he flips from Norman Osborn to the Green Goblin. Chaos ensues, and then in that skirmish, Aunt May dies, which left me a little teary-eyed because not only do I think Marissa Tomei is
super fine.
I was going to say easy on the eyes, but yeah, super fine is applicable.
Just go with it.
And so this causes a traumatic effect for Toby. Happy causes a diversion so he can get away. And Ned and MJ don't know where all the enemies are and don't know where Peter is either. So Ned uses a sling ring that was stolen from Doctor Strange to open a portal, and he says, "Bring me Peter Parker." And you see a Spider-Man, and you walk through, he demasks, and it's Andrew fucking Garfield. And if you didn't know this was coming, generally people lost their mind when they saw him. Which was nice that they got to bring him back, and he could redeem himself, just because he got a lot of flack for his movies. They weren't awful, but they weren't amazing either.
No.
And then he does it again, and instead of saying Spider-Man, they said Peter Parker, and oddly enough, Tobey Maguire goes through, and then they eventually find Tom Holland, and then they play scientists in the lab, and they try to find cures for all these people.
Which was cool. Like, I think what they did with them was really cool. Like, how they basically showed that they were guys that always kind of wanted a family.
Yeah.
And
felt like they belonged.
Yeah, like they all belonged together. They felt like brothers, and they say that multiple times, of course.
And they did that meme where they're all pointing at each other like, you,
yeah.
Right. I love that note. And then they share experiences like, clearly Andrew Garfield lost his love by unintentionally snapping the back of Gwen Stacy.
Mm-hmm.
Tobey Maguire leads people to believe that him and Mary Jane worked it out and are married at that point.
Yeah.
And then Tom Holland has his Mary Jane. You also kind of learn, as Andrew Garfield divulges, that he seems to be at oneself at the end of Amazing Spider-Man 2, but he says that he let the dark side kind of take over. He didn't hold his punches. And it sounds like he probably became a dark Spider-Man and killed some people.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting arc. Then, of course, Tobey Maguire shoots web out of his wrist, and people are like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you.
Yeah, they kind of made fun of that, which was always kind of funny to me because, like, I always thought that back in the day. Like, I was like, wait a minute.
So the web shooter, right?
Yeah. I was like, well, wait, it comes out of his arm now? Like, that's so weird.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, so they create these devices to cure all those people, and they, how else are you going to get people and make people watch? You go to social media and you basically be like, hey, do this. And they go fight at the the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
Epic battles ensues, wonderful spacing, shooting, and I love the teamwork in the air, the acrobatics by all three Spider-Man. Like you said, there's a lot of moments of heartfelt, brotherly love, and then just kind of seeking to understand, talking about enemies that they've not acquired, but
came across. Yeah, they reference Venom, of course.
Yeah, and fighting space aliens and things of that sort.
Yeah, they're like, wait, you went into space? Like that was like a funny, like a little fun, like nod to me. I was like, oh, when you think about it, it's like, goddamn, like those in their universes that never would have been thought about.
Sure.
Like,
and the technology at the time, you wouldn't have seen that. But with that said, they clearly start purifying all these enemies, and when Doctor Strange comes back and tries to hit the button, they're like, no, I can fix it. And of course the last iconic person is going to be Green Goblin. Fortunately Sandman was first, then Lizard. Doc Ock was already fixed, and then Electro was fourth, and Green Goblin is last. And you have this raw emotion from Tom Holland just beating the living stuffing out of William Dafoe.
Because he caused him a whole lot of pain. He killed his aunt, and
ruined his life, if you will. And there's just so much that you could see in that shot, and then he picks up his glider and he wants to just slam the knives into him, and Toby tells him, no, you can't do that. And then Toby gets stabbed in the side by Green Goblin. And, then Doctor Strange, as the box, the Meeseeks box that's exploded by a pumpkin.
I know, right? It might as well be.
Basically what happens is the whole universe is just getting destroyed and ripped apart. Doctor Strange says...
Well, you start seeing, like, I saw in the rips, if you looked closely, you saw the silhouettes of other Spider-Man, like, villains, essentially, getting, like, there was, like, I saw Rhino.
Yeah.
Scorpion.
Yeah, I've seen videos where, like, I think Madam Web was in one of them, Doppelganger.
Oh, really?
And a couple other people.
That'd been cool to see Doppelganger.
So the thing is Doctor Strange, like always, he finds a way. There's that one way to fix it, and so Tom Holland needs to basically make everyone not remember who he was.
Yeah.
And that would fix everything. So the cast a spell, he says goodbye to his two Spider-Man brethren. They, appreciate, have a moment. Then he says goodbye to Ned and MJ, and they're freaking out. They're like, no, this is not what we want. We're a team, and for the best of the team, sometimes the captain or the leader needs to take one for the team, which he does. And MJ says to make sure that you come find us after this is all said and done. Things kind of return back to normal, and then at that point, basically, he goes to the coffee shop that MJ worked at and try to repair the relationship and friendship, and he basically realizes that he can't do that. He wants to let them enjoy life and not have a...
Well, he sees that they're kind of happy.
Yeah, he doesn't want to burden their lives.
Yeah.
And then you find out that Peter Parker just never existed, because he goes to Aunt May's gravestone, and Happy's there. He has no idea who he is.
Mm-hmm.
And Happy asks him how he knew May, and he says, like, oh, through Spider-Man. It's like, oh, me too. And, Tom Holland moves into this dunky-looking apartment, and he has a GED book, so clearly and all of his accolades are meaningless, but he does have keepsakes from each person, like the little Emperor Palpatine Lego from Ned, and a couple other things. And he...
Well, I was wondering, because he did... So it did wipe his existence, then.
I would say.
Because I wondered, because I was like, I thought he didn't graduate high school then.
No, because they were still in high school. They were getting accepted, so this would be winter, spring of senior year.
Yeah.
So it was all wiped.
Yeah.
And so he makes this new bedazzled-looking suit, which I honestly didn't like, and he swings out of Rockefeller Center, and then the movie essentially
it was like his blue part of his suit now is like metallic.
Super shimmery.
Yeah.
It's like if you bedazzled it all.
Yeah. It's like a metallic spandex.
Yeah, so... I mean, for what it's worth, I think like the movie was just hands.
Hey.
The movie was great. We both loved it. I think the cameos were done well. I think the acting was superb as well. The end credits scene, which was of Venom trying to figure out what the hell's going on and then getting blipped back, but a piece of his symbiote is stuck in this particular universe. I think it was interesting as well. But I think honestly it was a great movie. I enjoyed it a lot. It's for me top 3, if not top 5, for Spider-Man movies in terms of any iteration that's not comic book.
Yeah, for me, like I said, I think it was just one gigantic fan service movie.
Right.
Like, but it was done well. I think it nailed it on all the notes. Like the guys, like we said, like all the Spider-Men were great. The banter with all of them, to me, watching that warmed my heart.
Yeah.
Just because it was nice seeing that for them. Right. Because, I mean, I grew up with, obviously the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Yep. And
then, obviously I like the Tom Holland one. And then Andrew Garfield, take it or leave it. But, like, he totally redeemed himself.
Sure.
Fucking nailed it in this movie.
Yeah.
So
you could tell the pain that was in.
Yeah.
Not necessarily from the movie, but the level of acting that he tried to convey that his character had to deal with after Gwen Stacy died.
Exactly. You could tell he was kind of broken and he was kind of being overly happy, though you could tell deep down he was just kind of a broken person.
Yeah.
So, that which we'll probably touch on here pretty soon on what you're going to go on with that.
Yeah.
But, we liked it.
Yeah.
Like
the mass majority of people in the world.
Yeah, it's a solid movie, really done well, and the villains are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it makes you really realize that they brought back all the good villains from the movies, I would say, for the most part. Like, they obviously ignored Venom.
Yeah. I mean, no issue with Topher Grace. Is it Topher Grace?
Yeah.
Yeah, as a human being, but didn't like his Venom.
No.
In terms of,
It wasn't Eddie Brock, man.
Yeah.
Eddie Brock's like an imposing figure.
Well, also, they didn't bring back James Franco, but, it's, William Dafoe is way better as a Green Goblin.
Yeah, 100%.
And same with the Harry Osborn. And
well, James Franco's also got sex
offender,
allegations. Yeah. No.
He's got a lot of issues he has to work out on his own.
Yeah.
But anyways, it was
shocking Hollywood.
Yeah.
No, anyway.
It was nicely done. It was a great movie, but this kind of springboards us into our next segment. I know we were talking about Spider-Man, but it's what's going to happen next. Because clearly with this unraveling of sorts from Marvel, not unraveling, the multiverse opening up, has opened up a lot of windows and avenues for older superheroes that are already existing but are not part of this continuity come back. May it be the 90s and 2000s X-Men, the First Class X-Men, any of the Fantastic Four, which were pretty bad movies, any of the old Hulk movies, the Punisher movies, the Blade movies, and things of that sort that will come in the next year in terms of Marvel projects. I mean, just alone, I'm just going to name them off that I have them written. We have Morbius, which is Sony entity, so I don't know if it will include the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You have Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. You have Thor: Love and Thunder, Spider-Man: Spider-Verse, which is the animated sequel to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. You have the Black Panther sequel, which honestly I think it's going to be pushed way into 2023 with all the delays and injuries to the young actress who's playing Black Panther now, or whatever her role is now, which is Black Panther's sister, Shuri. You got the Moon Knight series that's coming out in March. You got She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, Secret Invasion, I Am Groot, and the Guardians Galaxy Holiday Special. A lot of the speculation is coming from Multiverse of Madness and lots of cameos. There are so many rumors and things of that sort that people are out there, but to prevent me from just talking this entire time, who would you like to see in the Multiverse of Madness from any older entity or Marvel property that you've seen before?
So it would have to be live action, obviously, but I mean, the mind always goes to Hugh Jackman, of course, but I feel. I guess he could. He's not that goddamn old now. But, and they did kind of age him up a little bit, I felt like, for Logan. Because it's like, I see him in other stuff now, and I'm like, he doesn't look that old.
Yeah, I mean, Technology is a wonderful thing now, but if done poorly, it just looks like shit.
Yeah, well, no, I'm not saying they have to age him down. Well, the shit, they did age him down in Logan. I think about it. Remember, they cloned him.
Right.
But yeah. Anyway, I mean, they could do it.
So you want to see Hugh Jackman Logan / James Howlett or whatever his name is?
Yeah. No, I mean, no, I just mean like if they could. I mean, like if they could somehow do like Old Man Logan, but at the same time, I don't know what I would like, because I know there's people that say who would be like a good short, like terribly muscular and semi-hairy dude.
I don't know.
What's that guy like? I always thought the Indian guy from Eternals would have been a great Logan. Just make him Indian.
Really, that guy?
Yeah. Did you see him without his fucking clothes on?
He's jacked.
Like
steroids like crazy.
And he's hairy as hell.
Yeah.
So I feel like he could probably pull it off.
Before we get to that, my side note is yes, seeing Old Man Logan would be cool. I think what would be cooler is seeing Hugh Jackman portray X-Men Alpha one-armed or one-handed Logan would be cool.
Oh.
That would be cool in my opinion.
Yes.
But
that was Apocalypse or was something, wasn't it?
Something like that.
Yeah.
So, or is either X-Men Omega or Alpha, one of the two. But either way, with that said, damn it, Dallas scored. It would be interesting if Kunani. No, not Kunani. Kunani. What's his name? The guy who played the guy in Eternals.
Kumani.
Sorry,
yes.
Thank you. I'm not trying to be vulgar, but yes, he would have been an interesting fact. So, in my opinion. Some interesting characters that you could bring back is clearly Logan would be a great, person to have. You could bring your older, Ian McKellen or Patrick Stewart into it, which is rumored. But one of those two might make it in there. There's a heavy rumor that Michael Fassbender is going to be in it.
I don't know why. Michael Fassbender. I hope
Lou Ferrigno as the Hulk. That'd be hilarious.
He's so old now, though.
Yeah,
but doesn't even look jacked anymore. Technology.
Make him Bruce Banner. He was never Bruce Banner because it was a different actor.
But still,
you
could do it.
Yeah,
that's still he actually played Bruce Banner for once. I don't know. I mean,
sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
They're actually going to bring Edward Norton back, and it's a different parallel Hulk.
Oh, that would be awesome. I actually thought he was what? But wait a minute.
I would just F with people because you're like, which one's the Hulk I've been watching? Is it Ruffalo or is it Norton?
Well, it's technically they're the same Hulk.
Yes. Technically, yes.
And the thing that's what devastates me, and Edward Norton clearly doesn't work in Hollywood anymore because he's horrible to work with. But.
Yeah, that's he wanted a lot more money, and they're like, okay, we'll hire someone else.
Yeah, exactly.
To my understanding, I don't know for facts. I'm not some sort.
Well, I heard he was also kind of difficult to work with.
I mean, he was difficult to work with on Fight Club, I heard, too.
Really?
Yeah.
Nah.
But either way.
Unfortunate.
So, I mean, on this spitball of people, I have 3 or 4 other people tie game that we have that could possibly be cameoed in here. So, anyone else that you'd like to see or narratives or storylines?
It's hard because it's it's literally endless almost. I mean, it's like... What would I like in the manner of comic series that they just haven't adopted into a film?
Yeah. Well, they have to break the wall, the glass pane that is. You need to introduce a physical mutant because they haven't used that word in correlation with anything yet. They have said mutant, I think, in WandaVision, but they haven't said this is a mutant. This is what makes a mutant.
Yeah.
So they got to break that glass ceiling first. And like you said, there's years, decades upon decades of things that they could pull in there.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, that's just it. Is it's I don't really see them picking from the Fox X-Men movies all that much.
Really?
I think they'll take the big boys. They'll take McAvoy, or if that's his name, right? McAvoy.
It's McAvoy for sure.
James McAvoy,
the professor. Yeah.
So and then Fassbender.
Okay.
For sure. Those two nailed it pretty well. Stewart. I mean, good guy, but the dude's. He's getting old.
Yeah. Well, he is in Picard season 2 right now for Star Trek.
Yeah, but he's still decrepit.
I wouldn't say he's decrepit. He's old.
Don't
yes.
get me. He's quite old.
He's not super mobile. I can agree to that. But that Professor X is in a wheelchair, anyways.
That's
so
true.
It's very coincident. No offense to Mr. Patrick Stewart.
No, it is actually.
My apologies.
But no. But like, yeah, if he watches this, I'll fucking flip out.
He's like that guy right there. I need
to
give him a piece of my mind.
Gonna type him a long comment.
You're a dick. Send. Who's the card number 1 fan?
God. Yeah.
Hey, they subscribe. No, I'm kidding.
But yeah, so yeah, someone's gonna create a fake account just for that. Anyway,
you're saying that Fassbender, Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen.
Outside of that, though, there's really not any big like.
Would you not want Wesley Snipes to come out of nowhere and be Blade?
Like, yeah. It's Wesley Snipes.
Would you not want Ryan Reynolds to play these 3 different roles?
I think we're going back to like the Ghostbuster thing for me a little bit. Yeah? It's like they're just they're way past their prime now. I kind of feel. And so I'm kind of like.
Well, Wesley Snipes is going to be in Blade, but he's just not Blade.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Wesley's. I don't know, because we were just talking about Coming to America too. He's in that, of course.
Yeah.
And he looks good. I'll give it to him. After everything he's been through.
Tax evasion, etc.
Oh, God, yeah. Anyway.
Now we have multiple celebrities coming in.
Yeah, exactly.
Faming me on YouTube.
Yeah, damn you. With all 161.
But 3-2.
Yeah, What? How?
I don't know.
Is it a shootout?
It's a delay, but
okay.
I would assume, whatever.
What? I don't know. Anyway, you know better than me. So yeah, we a hockey game, Red Wings. But yeah, so this game or the movie. Or no, what are we talking about?
We're talking about Multiverse of Madness cameos of Marvel entities.
I don't know who I would want. Because who are you?
So Logan for sure.
Sure.
I think comically, throwing both Quicksilvers in it again, just to run around in a circle, would be funny. Because you have Ralph Boner or whatever. What's his name of the actor?
Yeah.
And then you had, I forget the actor's name too. Guy in Kick-Ass. Who was Quicksilver in this?
Yeah.
Is it Adam Hall or something like that?
No.
Adam Taylor.
Yeah, Adam Taylor-Joy.
Something. We'll throw it out there.
That's that chick. Anyway.
A
very pretty girl from Queen's Gambit.
Got it. So there's whatever. There's a bunch of people that would be nice to put in there. I'm going to go into some rumors as you ponder it some more on who you'd like to see from the Marvel universe in generalities. Rumors are they might pull alternate universe Iron Man being Tom Cruise. Yeah. I've heard they're going to try to pull in some of the Fantastic Four from both iterations. The weird version where Michael B. Jordan is Human Torch, and then I'm not trying to be weird about it, but it was weird to me. And then the one with
Alba.
Yeah, Jessica Alba and Chris Evans. I heard Chris Evans has 2 roles in Multiverse of Madness, and it could easily be Captain America and it could be Human Torch.
That'd be wild.
I heard that Hugh Jackman said he would come back for Wolverine under one of 2 situations. If he got to fight the Hulk, or the rumor is Chris Evans wants to fight Wolverine as Captain America in a flashback scene. So there's a bunch of that speculation. There's a speculation that Krasinski, what's his first name? Jim from The Office.
Oh, is it Ryan?
No. Either way, Krasinski is supposed to cameo as Mr. Fantastic in this world, but not as the Mr. Fantastic that has been cast for Fantastic Four yet, or at least it hasn't been confirmed. So just drawing upon a whole bunch of other things.
Krasinski. Awesome. I think he spells it with a K.
Go ahead and keep
talking.
Right? I'm going to look it up. Go ahead.
I have nothing to talk about. You know all about this. I don't. I mean, for me, I feel...
John Krasinski.
John!
Like,
Way off.
That didn't sound right. I'm like, I have to look it up. It's not that. But
Way
yeah.
off.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, they literally have a blank cover of a comic book, and they could just draw whatever the hell they want. And that's the job that
They basically have kind of done that already, though. I think with What If a little bit, like where they've just kind of slung like ideas, like, hey, you know what? Let's try to like we think these short stories could make a cool little movie like this. I don't know. Maybe this is where they take the Marvel universe, where they just kind of make it into one-shot movies. Because when you think about it, all those one-shot movies generally, or one-shot comic books, are like something enough for like a movie-length, cinema, if you will.
No, I mean, this is an interesting task that Sam Raimi has in front of him. Wait, is he a Multiverse of Madness, or is he? Yeah, I think
He's multiverse, right?
So, I mean, with that said, I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, if you have a prediction or whatever, throw it in the comments. We'd like to hear some crazy hypotheticals. We always like this, to figure out what's going on, what's in your head. But those are the ones I've heard so far, and I'll probably pepper out in the comments of the ones I've actually heard and throw it in there just because I kind of bullet pointed, shot, spray and prayed all the hypotheticals in a non.
There's a joke there, a low hanging fruit. I'll avoid. I'm excited. I think they haven't disappointed yet. Honestly, they've done well with everything. Even stuff where I've been kind of like, yeah, it's been okay.
Yeah, so here's a question that will lead into our next series-based video. Who has a better trajectory right now? DC or Marvel?
I would
give me a short answer now. We'll continue in the next video.
Well, I mean Marvel, they haven't fucked it up yet, really. They really fucked up Star Wars, in my opinion.
Well, let's just murder one of your childhood.
I'm picking and choosing with Star Wars. Like the prequel trilogy, it exists in my mind. It does. But yeah,
it's not great, but it's passable.
Yes.
Whereas the 7, 8, and 9 is just horrendous.
I can't. Like it's a mess.
And then
it's all over the place.
You have two independent movies. You have Han Solo and you have Rogue One. Rogue One is good. Han Solo is passable at best. I would say it's better than 7, 8, 9, but still not good.
Yes.
And then you have the Disney Plus series, which we haven't watched Bad Batch, so we can't put any comments into it. And we should add this to a different video, but
I'm just not interested.
Mandalorian's good. Book of Boba is good. And we'll have to see what else is coming, because there's the Cassian Andor, Rogue One, and a bunch of other stuff coming up.
Yeah, well, like...
Not Rogue One. Rogue Squadron, excuse me.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, with this, Marvel's got a robust roster of people, so it's like they have a lot to choose from. Like, I think they're going to continue this, where they're just going to kind of chug through and reintroduce and new side characters, because they've basically covered all the heavy hitters at this junction for the most part.
They have not touched any mutants in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Well, I mean, outside of the X-Men. Or the mutant in general.
So you're saying, in terms of...
for the most part.
Mutants
I'm not saying
the only topic.
Non-mutants. So just before the X-Men universe intersected with the regular Avenger universe, prior to that, which was probably the 70s or 80s.
Okay.
Let's say. Those characters have been covered for the most part, have they not?
I'm sure I can find an exclusion, but I don't have one.
Sure, there's got to, I said for the most part, damn it.
Yes.
I would submit so. They've hit it all. Vision was probably a lot more underplayed, but that was about it in my mind. Quicksilver existed for a movie, so
yeah. I agree with you that Marvel has a better trajectory at this point, but we'll continue this banter when we talk about the next DC project. I think it'll be interesting to see what the trajectory is, what we could expect, and what to see next.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
to not make this 4 hours long,
Yeah.
we really appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe, because I'm sure not a lot of you are, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Take care.
Later.
Bye.